Midnight strikes, and the entire dynamic of the Rene conflict changes in an instant. We've got lots to unpack as Season 2 begins to draw towards a close, so let's get into the episode and review Into the Flickering Dark Part 1. But first, a message to our heroes.
Hey there, this is Colin, creator of the 7th Valkyrie. If you're hearing this, it means you're listening to the public version of TABTA. And I really appreciate that. It keeps the algorithm happy, it keeps us growing. But if you want to get a little fun personal message every week with behind-the-scenes stories, funny little bits, other insight into the creative process, you can hop over to our Patreon and become a hero of Edera. You'll support the series, you can shape the future of the 7th Valkyrie, and find a whole lot of fun bonus content along the way. You can get started completely for free, and then if you decide you want to chip in and get bonus content, early access, and a whole lot more and help us along the path of heroes towards a whole lot of cool checkpoints, then you can do that. It's patreon.com/7th Valkyrie, that's 7THVALKYRIE, and give it a look. With that, on into the show.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome to TABTA, the adventure behind the adventure of the 7th Valkyrie, where we watch one series go from total obscurity to maybe 7 seasons in a movie, or maybe we just find the power of friendship along the way. I'm your host, Colin Sharp, creator and current voice of the 7th Valkyrie, and this week we're talking about Into the Flickering Dark Part 1. I think that's Season 2, Chapter 30. So if you haven't gotten there, if you haven't heard of the most recent public episode, or if you're not caught up, my heroes, halt right now and go listen to it. Anyway, so we got what's going on? All right, you guys have been warned. So it's been revealed in a little bit more explicit detail that it is BC, which was actually a surprise to some of our heroes. I was talking to them, and I thought I'd kind of openly revealed it when the power that was activating had the same kind of vibe as her power, or as BC's power, and the tattoos and the you veteran face. But like. Yeah, so we get confirmed for us that it is BC who unleashed this stroke of power. But that's not all we got. We actually get to see kind of the first on-scene interactions with Krona and BC. And while it's certainly like they have a chemistry and a rapport, it is absolutely not a friendship. She is just about ready to kill him, and they've clearly come to some sort of arrangement, but the details are still somewhat vague. What we do know, though, is that he had a massive influence on the Mandarian soldiers, leading to their epic betrayal with his signal, and we also know that he all but confirms that he had a similar arrangement with some of the 4 family soldiers. But with Krona flipping his coin and the messages and layers of lies and the theatrical, nothing is certain, which is where he loves to thrive. And in the meantime, things are very much on edge with the 4 families. They are not happy with how he has treated them, with the fact that they know he kind of played them. And we'll see what happens next week if you're a public listener, and if not, then we will. And if you are a hero, then you already know what happens next week because you've heard the full episode. Now let's take a moment step outside the episode, and man, this is a big reveal, a big moment. This whole kind of the meeting on the barge and then what happens after is a huge moment. And I talk about pro wrestling a lot because I'm a huge fan, and I've learned lots of weird little storytelling tricks from watching it, just because I like to follow it. And one thing I want to focus on here is that when we're building up to a big fight, and this is like basically the entire promotion of wrestling, that's why they call them promotions, is I think I hate most is when it's really obvious who's going to win, because it really takes some of the excitement of watching the event. Like it's like, oh my God, this is Stone Cold Steve Austin versus an 8-year-old girl. Who's going to win? And I'm like, okay, well, storytelling dictates that it's probably not going to be the 8-year-old girl. Or it's like, here's a guy who's been champion for 10 years and he's facing, Meepy Bob from Slidell. And they're already announced that like Mega Champ, who's been champ for 10 years, is going to face his arch rival at the Mega Show. And I'm like, well, I really don't think they're going to have Meepy Bob from Slidell face the Mega Champ, end the champ's reign, and then face the champ's arch. Like, clearly he's not going to win. But on the other hand, an example of like really good storytelling I actually found was in Japanese wrestling. They always put a lot of effort into building up a storyline for both of them that could kind of go either ways. And you can, even if there is like a dominant champion, it's like, oh, they could continue winning, or they build up that like if this guy wins, it will be the most important moment of his entire life, and his entire career has been building up to this moment. And so you're like, okay, like I probably think that Mega Champion is going to win, but there's a chance that like, and they kind of do everything they can to put these little seeds of doubt. And then you've got an underdog, and even if and like every moment that he has a chance, you're thinking, there's a shot. And that's really like the effort that they put into that storytelling. By building both possible realities gives you this uncertainty, like, wow, things could go both ways. And so you that they're going to fight, and one of them's going to win, but like even though like it's just like one of two pathways, you're like excited and you don't know, and you're like, oh man, and like so every twist and turn in the match makes a difference. And with fiction, like when you're writing a story, you get a little more flexibility because it's not just someone has to fight, someone has to win. You can do literally anything, but also you want to. Like one thing that I've learned from wrestling is you want to put some build up and you want to get people excited about something, and then you want to pay it off. Like if we were just like, oh, they're going to fight, and then it's like all of a sudden something totally out of left field happens, that would be, it might be a little disappointing. You're like, okay, I thought there was going to be some sort of conflict here. Like, we knew eventually that these two cities and the people who lived there would kind of come to blows, and we don't know how or why, and that's where the uncertainty is, but we are going to get, we've been building tension between this, and we are going to pay it off, right? Like, that's how a good story works. So like right now the Editor Navy is on the back foot, but like what's going to happen next? How do we, how are things going to proceed? There's a lot of possibilities. We know like kind of the rough strokes of like, oh, this is a battle happening, but we have no idea how it's going to turn out. And so for me, that's where you're like, okay, if I've done a good enough job of building this story, then you guys are like, then it's exciting to see how it all plays out, because you really, there are lots of possibilities, and you think it could go one way, it could go the other. Ooh, what's going to happen? Well, Into the Flickering Dark Part 2 comes out on Friday. For everyone else, that Into the Flickering Dark and the following chapter, That Hateful Frenzy, are already out on Patreon. So you can figure out, or you can wait and listen along with us. And in the meantime, stay tuned, stay frosty, and we will see you soon.